In this lesson, we're just going to look at getting started with SketchUp. So we'll look at opening and saving SketchUp from the Google Classroom or any Google platform for that matter. And then we'll look at the navigation. So we'll look at rotating the world, we'll look at scaling the world so that you can go in deeper or you can come out further, and we'll look at panning around the world. Some of these concepts can be a bit strange at first, but we'll just show you how to deal with that, and we'll give you a bit of practice at doing that as well. So let's head on over and let's see how we can do this. So here we are in Google Classroom, but if you were on any of the Google platforms, just google.com or whatever, you'd see that these 9 little dots are there. Now, for my school, we've already got SketchUp installed. If you haven't, or you're not a school and you're just using their standard free version, you can just head on over to SketchUp and just start the app. But from school, this is the best way of doing it so that you get all of the tools and all of the features, because that's what the school version has. So when you click on these 9 dots and then you click down to where it says More, scroll down a bit further, you get this icon here, SketchUp for Schools. It's the SketchUp for Schools that's going to launch the app. So when you click on this, it will open up the SketchUp app. It will probably ask you to sign in. So when you get asked to sign in, make sure you sign in with your school credentials, so your school email and your school password, and this will get you access to the SketchUp for Schools. If you don't use your school password, you will only get a limited set of tools, and that's no good. So let's head on over to SketchUp. So you guys press this button and it will open up this next tab. Now I've already gone ahead of time and logged in, so you should, at this moment you should see a little button here that says log in with Google. So press that button and away you go. Once again, just log in with your Highworth credentials. So this is what you should see. You should see a blank canvas with a man in the middle. This can be deleted later, but we're going to use him for now just to learn a few tools. So you have 4 areas. You have this top area where you have all your main menus. You have this left area where you have all of your main tools for creation. You have a few areas over here, or a few files for extra asset management. And then at the bottom here you have some measurement controls. We will try and get into as much of this as possible. I'm not sure how far we'll go with it, but we'll see. So all we're going to look at now is how to save your work. So we'll want to save it to your Google Drive. Now what I did ahead of time is I went over to Google Drive and I created a SketchUp folder. So you can pause the video now and just go and create a SketchUp folder in your Google Drive. So let's save our work. So here we are, we've got Untitled, and what we're going to need to do is give this a proper name. So if we click on this button here and then we change it to something like test, I don't know, I think I've already got a test 1, so I'm going to say 1.2. okay, you can call yours whatever you want, or let's call it lesson 1. Okay, once again you can call it whatever you want, but I'm just going to call mine lesson 1, and then I'm going to press OK. And what this is going to do now is it's going to open up Google Drive for me. Now because I logged in with my school account, all of my school stuff is here, which is great. And you can see the folder that I created earlier. So if I just select this folder called SketchUp, you'll notice that it allows me to select it. Now you don't need to go into this folder, otherwise you'll just get blank options. Okay, if I double click and show you this, you'll get blank options and it tells you can't select it. So if you just go back to the main folders and just select the folder you want to put it in and then press select, it will save your work and it will give it the proper name. Give it a couple of seconds. And there we are, it's called lesson 1. Now if you want to open this at any point, you can just click on this and then you can open any of these. So if you've already got SketchUp files saved, you can now come into open and it will go into your folder system. You can go into SketchUp and you'll see they're all there. So there's my lesson 1 and there's a few tests that I did earlier. So let's just click on lesson 1 and it will open up for me. So straight away, that's how you save and open your work. It's slightly different than what we used to, but it's fine. It shouldn't cause you too much hassle. You've also got a few other options here. One of the ones I like the most is this export option. So you can save it as an image, and then you can save it for 3D printing. So this STL will allow you to do 3D printing. So if you're working down in the product design area and you want to do some 3D printing, this is the button that you can use here. Remember, our machines are only very small, so anything larger than say 10 centimeters cube will probably be too big, okay? So just keep that in mind. You've also got a few other options here which allow you to export for things like game, which is Collide, FBX, which allow you to export it for game stuff, which is absolutely amazing. So anything you make, you can actually export it for 3D printing, games, videos, anything, and SketchUp will allow you to do that, which is great. It's a really nice starting environment. You can also download the project, or you can print the project as well. So there's loads and loads of options there. So the last thing we're going to look at in this video is navigation. Now on our main tool panel we have two kinds of navigation. The one we're going to look at is this global navigation. If you click on it, it will open up a panel and you'll see all the different options for navigation. So you have your rotate or orbit, you have your pan, and then you have your zoom. If you click on any of these, it will do what you want it to do. So if you click and then left click, it will allow you to rotate it, and if I change to the hand, it will allow me to pan it, and if I change it over to the zoom, it will allow me to zoom in and out, and I'm just left clicking. Now this is a really slow way of working in 3D. So the better way of working is with a middle mouse button. If you've got your mouse now, and I'll change over to my mouse, so it should kick in now. Yeah. So now I'm using my mouse and I've got a middle mouse. Now if I roll the middle mouse forward and backwards, it zooms in and out. If I hold my middle mouse button down, it will allow me to pan it, rotate it. So by holding it in, it's allowing me to rotate it. If I in and out, so if I just scroll the mouse wheel, it will allow me to zoom. Hold it in will allow me to rotate it. Now this last one's a bit more complex. You have to hold down the shift button, which is the second button up on the left hand side normally. So if you hold down the shift and then you hold down the middle mouse button, it will allow you to pan it. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to have a go at zooming in and out. I want you to have a go at rotating it. So just rotate it all the way around until you're happy. So bring the red back to where it should be. And then I want you to have a go at panning. Get used to panning. So if you hold down the shift, hold down the middle mouse button, pan it left, pan it right, pan it up, pan it down. Just have a little bit of a practice. Now this is the one area of 3D that most people take the longest time to get used to. So just keep that in mind. In the next video, we'll just have a go at making some simple shapes, but do make sure that you practice those three things first.